All right, welcome back to another fun-filled Tuesday night. It's the Independence Day edition of the Power Hour. I'm Steve, along with the urban sensation, the icon, the man who can be on sabbatical without being on sabbatical, the NWA's own C-Red.
Yes, yes.
And we've got the artist formerly known as PX, aka Top Fan, whatever the fuck that means. Happy birthday, Pat. Is it your birthday today? Is it yesterday? Are you on vacation? I don't know what the fuck's going on with you.
So Vacation PX's birthday, Vacation Top Fan, let me clarify that. His birthday is tomorrow. It's Acromania 30.
So you guys share the same birthday. And of course, let's bring in our very special guest, the C3 heavyweight champion, the sexy psychopath, the one, the only D'Angelo Steele.
Oh, that's great to hear you say that, Steve. It's finally great to hear you acknowledge my presence.
I'm gonna acknowledge many things about you tonight because despite our personal differences, I think you are fantastic at what you do.
Oh,
You command a room better than people that have been doing it a lot longer than you. So I will give credit where credit is due. I think you are a fantastic professional wrestler, and I'm going to leave it right there. We're going to talk about that later. In fact, I'm not playing games tonight, Mr. Steele. I'm glad you're here. Your birthday is tomorrow, so it's kind of like a birthday party for you. We're gonna honor you. We're gonna respect you to the best of my ability. And I don't have to do any heavy lifting tonight because you got your pops running the board tonight. So I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna kick back.
Why am I running the show?
And I'm gonna let the urban sensation do what the urban sensation does best.
Why am I running the show when you run the show any other time?
But this is special. You're proud of your son. He has become a better wrestler at 34 or however old he might be than you ever were. So there has to be some pride there.
There you go, starting that shit again. Stirring the damn pot. What you do every fucking week. Here we go.
I mean, you want your kids to have better opportunities and be better than you.
I do.
And he has made a whole career about it. You got to be proud.
I'm very proud considering I know where he started and where he is now. So, I mean, he's way more talented. And a lot of times he takes away from what he gives in the ring. And I wish he wouldn't shortchange himself. So
that lariat clothesline he delivers when a guy is on the ground to the back of his head is just devastating. Thought he knocked him cold on Saturday or Sunday. It was Sunday, yeah.
Well, did nobody tell EJ Swanson to sign that contract?
I'll tell you what. EJ thought better of it in the end because you beat the brakes off that boy. And that boy's pretty fucking talented too. But that was a whole can of urban sensation whip ass.
Well,
I'm gonna have to call him the psycho sensation or some kind of way to bridge that gap. Because I don't think everybody knows, and it took me a while. I didn't realize it because you call everybody nephew and grandson, and when you called him son, I'm like, now he's got sons and shit. And he's like, and Red's like, nah, he's my real son. I'm like, what? So I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. So now, I mean, that's just and then now Rion is here in his rocket suit. Hi, Rion. Rion's probably driving and doing things because that's what Rion does. But like I said, I love the fact that you guys are related in that way. And I kind of, it kind of makes sense. And, now when I watch D'Angelo Steele do his stuff and do his stuff, I see bits of you in it that I never saw before. So I think it's cool.
Well, that's not on me. That's on him again.
Well, of course, because he's talented and better than you.
D'Angelo over.
Oof.
I'm gonna say when most people would have quit after the injury he had, he came back harder and bigger and full throttle.
I
Like,
don't think I didn't want to. I think I didn't want
oh,
Wait,
I know you wanted to.
Red, look, Rion's calling a timeout on you already.
Wow. He's
He's got the
outside
portable
calling
timeout.
timeout.
We will acknowledge the timeout. Rion, go.
Sorry, I'm just getting this out the way. I know you can't see it. Hopefully this works. So I am currently working on that house.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
The gray one is now pulled up. I am working on that backboard. I just wanted you to know if I'm silent, that's why. My apologies. But I just feel like you should know that before you be like, what is Rion doing? This is what I'm actually working on right. Okay. That backboard up right there. Right there. Getting ready to work it.
Did you
Okay.
break it?
No,
No,
all right.
it's new. It's brand new.
Oh.
Only reason I'm mentioning this is because of this injury thing that you keep talking about, as far as, you know, I'm going back and forth. Just know there's people out here rehabilitating not just houses, but people as well. So I completely understand where you're coming from with putting in the work. I was going to make a funny pun. I'm not going to, because my dad is struggling trying to figure out how to get into a drive. What in the hell? Oh, never mind. No, he's making it easier for us. I already know what he's doing. Okay, that's on me. That's on me. Now he is actually really smart. I'm gonna go back to work now. I just want you to know what's happening. Now I got to go lift stuff. All right,
Okay.
bye.
Lift from your knees, not your back.
And it makes sense that the great one helped him out. But no, when Steele suffered that injury, and he
I'm
came back.
unfamiliar with the injury. What's the injury?
I tore my ACL in my right knee.
Oh shit, that can be a career ender for many athletes.
Yeah, man. I did it on a suicide dive. I think it was at a BCW show. And it was like the first 5 minutes of the match. I dove out and I heard a snap, and I was like, "Oh man, I hope my leg isn't broken," because everything went numb. And then I got up and I started moving, so I was like, "Okay, well, it's not broken." I just couldn't jump. So initially, I didn't know that I had tore anything. I just thought I had a really bad sprain. But then I think maybe I had to wait till Monday because that show was Saturday. I think when I got home, I had to crawl out of the car, crawl to the door. I had my stepson give me some ice. I had the ice in, and I went to sleep. And the next morning, I was limping around the house, and my girlfriend's like, "Well, we have to go to the doctor." So we went to the doctor Monday, and then he told me, he's like, "Well, you tore your ACL and some of your MCL." And the rest is history. I mean, I had that surgery, and I think I was gone for maybe 6 months, 6 or 7 months.
How was rehab for that? Because I hear ACL rehab is very difficult.
For the most part, it was okay. I mean, the rehab was nice. I mean, I got a lot of time to sit down and just watch stuff. I mean, I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z. So, I mean, I had time to. I was able to watch, what was it, all of the new Dragon Balls. So I was like, all right. But I mean, other than that, I was kind of looking forward to rehab. And everything was kind of going okay. But then, I'd have my times where, I would worry about, would I go back to wrestling? Could I go back to wrestling? Should I go back to wrestling? And then I remember one company, I think out in Atlanta, had messaged me during that time period, and I had to turn that down because I was hurt. So it was just like I was getting like, ego hits, like, "Oh man, you missed out on this. Up, you missed out on that. Up, you missed out on that." So it was a time. It was a time.
when you came back to wrestling, did you feel like you were going 100% again, or did it take time to get back into it? I mean, were you scared that you were going to do it again? How was the transition back in for you?
You know, that's the funny thing. I feel like when I came back, I was just like ready to go. I wasn't nervous or scared. It kind of, it kind of felt like I just sat right back where I was, which it's kind of funny because I remember when I initially hurt myself, you know, Jazz told me, he was like, you know, wrestling will always be here. You know, it's okay. And my whole thing was, I get it's gonna be here, but I don't want to go away. But it's like I really had no choice. So it was just like when I came back, I was worried that you know, maybe I would slow down, maybe I wouldn't be good. But I think my first match back, it was kind of just like, oh, I guess I can still do this.
Like riding a bike, they say, right? You get right back on
It,
the horse and get back at it.
it really was because I think when I got in the ring, I didn't even think about my knee. Like it wasn't even a thought of what I could do, what I shouldn't do. It was just like, all right, let's go have this match.
It's your wrestling instinct. Your instinct takes over, and it's like you're not even at the wheel. Somebody else is at the wheel, and you're just doing what you know and love.
It's exactly what it felt like. I mean, because I remember a while ago when I used to wrestle the galley, I had broken my ankle, and then you know I went away for that. But like even when I came back after that, I wasn't really worried about, oh man, am I gonna have pain in my ankle? Can I still go this? It was just right off the bat. All right, we're back to it. And I think as you get older and you get an injury as you're older, you're like, oh man, this might put me down and like, keep me out for like a long period amount of time. I may not get bookings. Will they still remember me? Will they want me there? It was just a lot, man. Especially on my mental. It was a lot.
It can really mess somebody up. You know, you get phobic, you get cautious, and that's how mistakes in the ring happen, and that's how injuries happen to begin with. Speaking of this business, you've been doing it a while now. What got you into this business? Was it see red being, in the business? Did you see something on TV? What about it drew you to it back in your young days, before you were trained?
Uh, I want to say my first memory might have been just like watching the Hardy Boys, and just always like you're a little kid and you're like, oh, that looks cool. I want to do that. So you know, I just continually started to watch wrestling and I got into it. And as you get older, you figure, okay, well, I'll grow out of it, but I never did. I remember I used to go to the library and I would always rent the SummerSlam with TLC, and I would repeatedly watch it over and over and over and over. And then I remember at one point, like, I didn't know where to go to get trained. Like there was nowhere around me. It was affordable. I didn't really know nobody in the business really until I think my cousin, he had introduced me to somebody that was training, and then that's where I met Gordon, and then he's with LOW, and then that's where I got my first start. That's where I met Willie, met Trauma, I met Rion there, and Matthew Burke is Titan, as most people know him, and Sensational Shay, all those guys. I think I was around a good group of people. That's even why I met Red at. It's just I never knew that was like a little community around me. It was like I always wondered like how could I get into that because it seems so difficult. You go on Google and you got these schools in Minnesota or you got schools in Georgia and they cost like 15,000 or 20,000. And I don't really have that money at that time because I was still in school. So I was just like, how am I going to do this? But I was thankful that I was able to basically stumble upon that and kind of get it going from there. And looking back on it, it was a really grateful experience. Especially with Rion being there. I remember we had like a chop practice, and everybody would just line up, chop, chop, chop. Oh man, it seems like so long ago,
Yeah,
but he's
Rion
such a
has
great
always been one
dunker.
of those hard strikers that just that there's a certain group of guys that can just hit. And we were just there, on Sunday, and obviously watching Marche Rocket Chop, it's just so loud and so physically imposing. And Rion does very similar things. It just you're in the right community for that kind of shit, that's for sure.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It was
you
just
you
a
train
great
with Willie, you
experience.
train with Jazz Red. Does that make him a soul toucher, sort of, kind of by birth? I mean, maybe he's like soul touches the next generation.
I don't
Put
know
a
if
new
it
group together.
I don't know if it'll ever be the next generation. Uh, you know, you know, uh
That name is still pretty solid. That
oh
that
the
crowd,
name
that
the
crowd got on its feet when the touches came out
oh the
on
name
Friday
is
at NWA. They're still
oh we
viable. They may end up at the big. They may end up on the big stage yet.
hey, whatever happens, happens. But so let's back this up
Hmm.
because Steve isn't it's Tuesday, so a lot of Tuesday nights, a lot of stuff goes over Steve. So let's
That's
explain.
fine.
Steele is my stepson, but
But
we
still your son.
but I've never treated him like a stepson. I've treated him like my son. Um,
That's the only way to do it when you marry in.
and it's because of him uh that I married his mom.
You're
So
welcome. You're welcome.
that gift is over with.
Oh,
Uh,
this gift, that's the gift forever. Every
birthday
year, every
is
birthday, every Christmas. Welcome.
nah, we passed that.
So is it like Bobby Bonilla Day every time you have to talk to every year that goes by? You gotta pay some reparations to Steele there.
No, the funny part is
Bobby
he'll tell
Bonilla
you
got
Uh,
$1.19 million today. The motherfucker hasn't played baseball in 2 decades.
oh wow.
1.19 million today. He gets 1.19 million till 2035 every
and
year.
what's wrong with that?
That's the greatest contract in the history of time.
You
Oh my
you
God.
sounding like you hate.
He's sitting in a rocking chair on his porch
Hey,
going, I just got another million from those stupid idiots. He's just
hey,
rocking back and forth, counting that cash.
Oh my God.
if
That's
I
the
could
bill of
do it,
lifetime.
if I could do it, hey, I would.
Yeah.
But again, you know, D'Angelo Steele at that point in time wasn't D'Angelo Steele.
Uh-oh.
He was Little Devil.
Little what?
Little Devil.
Little devil?
Little Devil.
Well,
Yeah.
you better hope to
Which
God I never commentate on one of your matches, bro, because you're
you
now
know,
little devil to me.
you know. So um
Oh.
and the best time I remember Little Devil. We did a show, I wanna say, was it De La Salle? Or but I remember us getting dressed in the library.
Oh, I had like the shirt. It was like a blouse looking. It was like a.
You had that jersey.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
was. So.
And me and Rage were Los Robius. Um, and
Oh.
we were told it was gonna be like this big lucha show, and all these people were coming out. And I think we were lucky we had 25 people. We didn't care though. We went out there and had fun. But that was the moment, and there's a picture, and Chris Classic has it, of Steele and himself, because I took the picture, believe it or not.
Mhm.
But I knew at that point, both of them would go on to do great things. I just didn't realize that he would play a huge part in my life. But yeah, I still is my son for all intents and purposes, just like my girls. I don't see him any, just like if me and his mother had, he was ours. He is my son. So and to see where he is today, makes me proud. So
Tear up on him, huh? Okay, I'll see what you're doing.
Oh,
Let's see what you want today.
So have you guys ever fought? Have you guys ever gone one-on-one in a match?
outside of that match,
I don't think so.
no. I mean, we probably in battle, like if somebody had a battle royal or something like that. But
Or maybe like at the school show or anything or something like that.
yeah, like at my shows. But
Well, now I'm sensing an opportunity here
no, so
because I'd like it to be D'Angelo Steele and C Red in an old Yeller match, and D'Angelo Steele take that behind the woodshed so he can put this fucking sabbatical shit behind.
first of all, again, Steve, fuck you. Second of all, his mother would never let that happen.
Hey, you never know. She might want to see us wrestle. You never know.
No, I know that for a fact.
I'll put her on commentary with me.
I forget what company I brought it up to. It had to be. Was it Crash Tested?
He said no.
There's the steel cage.
It was either
D'Angelo Steele christened. That's a steel cage because D'Angelo Steele said so.
Yes, of course. It was either Crash Tested or it was IPW. One or two, I can't remember. And I came up with the idea that originally I wanted Steele to be the one to end everything.
I'm all in. I'm vested.
But there was going to be a build-up, like we were going to kill each other all the way up to the last match. And I was in, the promoter was in, and I remember talking it over, and she was like, no.
That was years ago, Red. I think it would fly now.
Yeah, we can try again now. You want me to give her a call?
You're doing this for your own good, Red.
I can call
you gotta stop. You eliminated yourself out the Battle Royal on Sunday. You eliminated your damn self. You are not the urban sensation I know.
Yes, I am. I'm smart.
You were scared.
Wasn't no scared. I did the math. Did you say, oh, hell no, I wasn't going nowhere near Marseille. I wasn't going to wait that long. I wasn't going to wait that long.
Marseille $20 to chop you.
No, that wasn't happening.
So I think, well, we got Rion. He might be listening. They're building things, and that's cool. They're working with their hands and they're putting stuff up. But I think IPW would be a great place because the vets love you, and the vets don't necessarily agree with the way D'Angelo Steele conducts himself.
What?
That would be some great theater.
It would, but guess what? I wouldn't do it.
You're scared.
No, it's not about being scared. First of all,
your son.
This is somebody whose faces went international with Gustavo having his fingers all up in your nose and mouth. So
and the best part about that is the takeaway from that picture when I'm getting my face literally ripped off. Oh, look at the pineapple in the window. So that's where I'm at. Yep.
Right.
I got upstaged by a pineapple, so I'm officially done. I don't need an old Yeller match. That was my old Yeller match. I got submitted by Gustavo and upstaged by a fucking stuffed pineapple.
That's
so
okay.
My wrestling career in a nutshell.
You can have a match with me, Steve.
It's your birthday, and we're glad that you're here. And
that's my birthday gift. Every time I come out, you always got something to say.
I do.
Like
I have
disrespect
lots to.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Let's
We
call my
we
baby
had it while you were
hoe.
busy in your match. Rachel and I had a lot of downtime to get up close and personal, and we talked about a lot of things. So,
Mm.
there's things that she told me that I don't think she told you.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
No, she ain't tell you that we got a match coming up, huh? You don't know about that, huh?
I don't know about that match. I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to give me a shot at the C3 title.
I'll give you a shot. Come on.
I would not want to, that is a belt. The C3 championship, that is a pretty hallowed belt. And I don't know if I would want my blood desecrating the history of that belt. And you do that belt really proud. I mean, you defend it with everything in your heart and your soul. So there are better people than me that get opportunity like that. I'll fight you, but I'm not fighting you for a belt because that's unfair to the people that deserve it.
Oh, so I can't say
I'm gonna
we
talk to management, man.
I can't say we fought. We didn't
What
fight.
What if some magic shit happened and I became C3 champion? Nobody wants to see that.
That wouldn't happen.
That's not happening.
Well, Rachel might turn on you.
Nah,
That wouldn't
my baby
happen.
don't turn on me. Sorry. Nope.
That wouldn't happen.
Nope. You saw what happened Sunday, right? All right.
All I know is that was a hell of a match, and you beat the brakes off that boy. I felt kind of sorry for EJ after it was all said. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Rion's been listening. That's not good.
Oh wow! Look at
That was the be careful what you wait. That's going to be my words coming back on me someday.
See?
But I did get upstaged by a pineapple. At least you got the respect you deserve. I got posterized by a pineapple. Remember those posters in the 80s? Jordan dunking on Elijah Wan. They're posterizing that shit. I got posterized by a fucking pineapple.
Oh, Steve.
Hey,
Which is all right. But we're not here about that. We're here to talk about the one and only C3 champion. How long have you been holding that title? It's been a minute now, right?
It has. I don't have a distinctive. I want to say maybe
there
2
was
to 3 months.
no, it's been longer.
Oh wow! It was the last November.
November.
Is C3 on hiatus? Because I haven't heard about
No.
any shows of the last little bit. Do they just do it periodically? How does that work?
C3 runs roughly every 2 to 3 months.
Okay, so they're right on time. There should be a show coming up pretty soon, right?
This Saturday.
Oh, it's this Saturday.
Title this Saturday.
Oh,
This
And a triple
Saturday.
threat. You see how they're trying to take my title from me, Steve?
who are they
Triple
fighting? Who are you fighting for the title?
Joseph Ira Credits and Rockin' Rivera.
Well, Rockin' Rivera, you should be able to whip his ass. That guy's a candy ass. But fucking, that's a big dude.
I know, man.
You're gonna
You see
need
how
to
they're trying to
punch in for overtime on that shit.
Man,
Spirit of Detroit. I remember that fucking tag team. That fucking tag team came into Posen and scared everybody in the building back in the GPW days.
Well, at least they showed. Never mind.
we got history. I've wrestled Spirit of Detroit a couple of times, so I got some research. I got my little scouting report.
They're doing you dirty by putting you in a triple threat, huh?
I know, man. I think that's on you. I think you talked to management.
Oh no, I love Chris Classic, but he doesn't come to me.
Hey, Steele, you think he could be part of the board?
I don't know.
A lot of stuff has been happening since the board has put their nose out.
It does seem pretty suspicious that a guy who
all I
lost
can
the tag team
say
title
is
world championship try now. So
I have been to C3 shows. I love the product. I've never been asked to be a part of it, so I just go there and I enjoy it when I can. I think Chris Classic is a fantastic human.
That's right. Keep putting him over. Yep. He got a seat for you right there. I see it. Mm-hmm.
If I have time this Saturday, I might come. You guys do afternoon shows too, so it's like a 3:00 tip off or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. If I double check the calendar, it might be around 3:00 or so, or a little bit earlier.
And you guys do these shows, is it Markham? Do you do them or no, it's not Markham.
They're in Crown Point, Indiana.
Crown Point now. That's right. That's right. That's just a hop and a skip. That's 20 minutes on the highway for me. That's easy.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
No, the show Saturday is at 1 p.m., sir.
Oh, so it's a super early fucking start. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you got Rockin' Rivera, who will cheat at every corner to take your title. That's what he does. And then you've got one half of the Spirit of Detroit, who is looking to rip your head off your shoulders. How do you prepare for two very different style wrestlers?
When I see me and Rachel, we go to a corner, sit down, talk. And she throws like, "Oh, hey, shouldn't you watch this match that they had?" I'm like, "Oh, you know what? That's a good idea, honey." So we'll sit, we'll watch it, and we'll take notes. I got on my little journal. I've been around Rockin' Rivera. I haven't been able to get in the ring with him, but I've seen what he can do. Joseph, we've been in the ring a couple of times. Most of the time is he's had his partner with him, but for the most part, I think with those two, I should be okay, hopefully. But as far as everyone else is concerned, I kind of just try to slow it down so we can go at my pace.
I mean, that's smart. Keep it your ball game. Keep it your pace. I get that.
Exactly. Like with Sunday, like EJ, hell of a talent. But if he gets going, I probably wouldn't have kept my title if I would have got him going. But I had to slow him down. We're not having none of that. But I think for the most part, I think it's about we're just kind of scouting while we're in the ring. Taking my time, trying to see what they're trying to do and see different ways I can counter it.
How do you prepare for possible involvement of, say, Rockin' Rivera's tag team partner? I'm not saying he's going to be there, but maybe he's going to be there. I mean, they're tag team champions up north. They ride and die.
No, I didn't even think about that.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to look for that. Thanks a lot, Steve.
I'm just saying, nobody knows where Ewok is going to show up, and I wouldn't want to get an Ewok crosshairs because that's just crazy.
I wouldn't mind locking hands with Ewok.
So I don't know if Ewok's going to be there on Saturday. I mean, maybe he's there. Maybe they got something going on to get Strap on Rivera. There's a plan. I don't know. A lot of things can happen on a Saturday in July, right?
Yeah, I know. You planning on showing up. You might be a part of the board.
I think Rion's riding a bike. Rion, are you riding a bike? Rion's riding a bike.
all we need now is a little ET basket.
Yeah, that's right. Put that finger up. We put the finger up because he's the tribal liaison, and we acknowledge him. Have you ever gone one-on-one with Ewok? Is my question.
No, I have not, but I would love to.
I wouldn't. You don't want that smoke.
I don't want that smoke. I don't want all the smoke.
No, you don't want that smoke. Ewok is the hardest striker I've ever seen. Marche, I used to think Marche was the hardest striker because his chops will stop traffic. But Ewok doesn't. It's not his chops that bother me. It's his closed fists up against your skull. He'll hurt you.
We have to see about that one.
Yeah, I like to watch.
I got a pretty hard head.
I'm hopefully Rion listens to this back. That'd be a hell of a match for the C3 Championship on a Sunday at IPW. D'Angelo Steele and the Ewok.
Steve, it sounds like you're trying to book ways for me to constantly defend my title, huh?
I'm just, like I said, if I was on the board, I would certainly put many pitfalls in your place to take that strap off you.
I see. It seems like that's what you're trying to do. You're shaking that on the board.
I'm making suggestions. I mean, I think we're making suggestions. We're trying to make great wrestling matches. We want wrestling.
Sounds like you're conspiring.
Have you ever fought Marche?
No.
You've never fought Marche?
Oh, it's only been in tag matches or
But
six
never,
man.
never gone. Why won't you give a title shot to Marche Rocket?
Why won't I give a title shot?
Well, you're just trying to give me a title shot.
Hey,
And I was like, hey,
hey,
I'm all about the respect thing in this business. But
hey,
so if you're giving out title shots like candy, I mean, I know Marche would come down from his palatial estate in Richmond Park to beat your ass up and down the street, right?
I'm gonna beat my ass up and down the street.
I mean, it's
Whoa,
Marche Rocket, bro.
man, you can't give me just a little bit of get back.
I
Just
give you
gonna
a lot
beat
of
my
credit. I bet if you
ass.
talk to Rachel right now, she'd say, "Don't take that match."
She's telling me to take that match.
What do you think? You know Marche, you know Steele. Give us your honest opinion about that match if it ever came to pass. I mean, you would certainly have conflicted rooting interests, wouldn't you?
Not really.
Yeah, because he chose me
If
already, right?
if you remember, before the ultimate demise of that company, I chose my family over Marche.
You did.
That is
So
true.
you do it again.
I would do it again. You have to realize there are now bigger things in place, you know. And the only way still, Marche, we say is up there, right? We always give him the credit, which he rightly deserves, right?
I haven't seen too many wrestlers compete on a level that he does on a consistent basis wherever he is.
So how do we deal with that? Well, he can't stay up there forever. So why not let it be Steele to take him off?
So you're gonna wait till he's a little older so we can have another old yellow match?
Who's to say he's not old now? Who's to say he ain't old now?
Doesn't look old to me, man. Didn't look that old. Didn't look that old in that Rumble.
Still is younger.
Although,
Still is quicker.
while we're talking about that Rumble, I don't know if you all saw this. Did you see the moment where Marche Rocket and Sean Danger went one-on-one?
No.
What?
It might have been the biggest pop I've had in a wrestling match in a while. Not because of anything other than the fact that I thought Marche was going to kill him, and Sean Danger jumped on him and took him down.
What?
You had to see it to believe it. When he took Marche down and knocked him down in the corner and started to pound on him, I am like, what the fuck is happening right now? What is fucking happening right now? It was
have a shot of whiskey in the jug before he did all that?
It was fucking surreal, dude. I was like,
Oh my goodness.
it was amazing. But my point being, Marche, obviously, he's not in the twilight of his career, but he can't go on forever. Steele, you're at that moment where you're in your prime. So I mean, I think it would be a very interesting match. I mean, you would have you would be giving up the height, you'd be giving up the strength. But boy, you've got that blood in you that maybe you get devious in you. You're the sexy psychopath. Maybe you could find a way to do something to Marche. I don't know. I guess anything is possible in this business. I didn't think Sean Danger was going to knock Marche down, and here we are. So I guess maybe I should put a little bit more respect on you than I did. Maybe that would be a match that everybody should see and want to see. And hopefully Rion listens back and says, hey, that would be a great match. And for the C3 title, make it all the more interesting. I think that's cool. So now I have one question for Red before I have Red.
Hold it. Could you keep bringing Rion up and booking matches? I do not book matches.
No, I know.
I'm
I'm saying,
no, you keep saying it'll be cool if this thing gonna happen, and then shut up. Look, it's I'm sick of everybody saying you should just book this match, you should do this. But the problem that I have with this, and this is me shooting, is that nobody comes to these things. Everyone said, oh, you should do this, and it's not. No one's watching it, Steve. I mean, there are a bunch of other organizations that could book said match, and I get what you're saying, and I understand that. But let's be real. Like, in order for that to be a thing, at least for me, it would have to be beneficial for everybody involved. And based on what I've seen on the last couple of shows, that's not been the case.
I thought it was a
I mean,
pretty
I love
spirited crowd.
it's always a spirited crowd, but I also know that based on what you're trying to present as far as this idea, that's going to cost some money, Steve. And I'm not sure if the company can deal with that type of scenario right now. It'd be great. I'd love to see it. But I also know what I've been seeing the last couple of shows. So if you want to talk about it, that's one thing. But trying to get the board to agree to that thing at this very point in time, it may take a minute. There's a reason why C3 hasn't done it as well. And they have much more resources than IPW has. But I mean, if you want to talk about it, we can. But this is me being as real as possible. It
There are
is
a lot of
in
boards
theory
out there.
a great
There are a lot of
match.
boards.
But you're right. There's a lot of boards, but doesn't mean that they can build anything at this point in time. I would love to see that, but that's also something that's going to take time to develop, if that's even a thing. We'll see what happens. So I just want to get that out of the way before you start mentioning, oh, Rion should do this. I'm telling you, please stop
if you've been
mentioning
listening,
Rion to do this thing.
we have
But go ahead.
We've had many ideas. Not just
you
that
had
one. That was just the latest.
Ewok versus Steele. Yeah, I heard all of it. And I'm like, look, you can talk to these other people that have these organizations that have actual pull. I'm just a liaison.
What about Red and Steele?
What about Red, who has all the pull between all of us, goes and set these things up? Like, I know he's getting ready to do the roses, but I'm just putting it out there. You're gonna talk about it. You keep saying, what if all these things take place? Red has the most pull out of all of us because he's been around 145 years. If anyone should be able to get that match, it should be Red. Like, he has an invested interest in both of these things, right?
Yeah.
As far as it being his soul toucher brethren and his stepson. Surely he'd be able to provide a stage much bigger than anything I provide. But that's just me talking out of my ass, I guess.
I mean, this all started with him challenging me for the title, and I'm like, no, there are all these other people that are better.
And I know, but I also know that you have been on a much bigger stage than anything I can provide in Rocket Pro. And I know that they really like you there. So surely you could be able to provide that type of match in that environment.
I have no pull at Rocket Pro. You'll have to talk to the Top Fan.
Well, is Top Fan on this panel right now?
He's got a picture of you on a bike right now.
Okay, that's wonderful. Hey, Top Fan, since you're over here making memes, can you make one of you getting everything in order at Rocket Pro so you can have this match taking place between D'Angelo Steele and Marche Rocket?
The Top Fan has you, Rion Skills. I got
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Sorry for the random shots, but I just figured I could get that out the way because I'm getting tired of people saying, I hope Rion's listening. Rion listens to everything, even when he doesn't want to. It is
How's the construction going?
Construction is done. I'm currently checking on this bike. Because we're getting ready to tune that up. As soon as I get done with that, I will grace my presence physically.
You take your time, Rion. We're just happy you're a part of the show.
Right. We go and get out of here.
Just can't win some days. At least I didn't get my face ripped off physically there, just verbally. So before I have Red give you the roses, I'm curious.
Uh-oh.
It's your birthday. You've still got a lot of wrestling ahead of you. You've overcome a serious injury that stops lesser men, and you've overcome it. And right now you're at the highest level I've ever seen you fight. And you're doing great work. What does D'Angelo Steele see in his future? What do you want out of wrestling? Where are you aiming for as 24 turns to 25 and then 26?
Honestly, I would love to get signed somewhere. Obviously, WWE would be, the tip top. That's where I would love to go. But if I would happen to go to TNA or AEW or somewhere else, that'd be nice. Right now,
You got Red at NWA. He brought Miles in. You think he'd have his son hack the car and come on up?
uh-oh, he's stirring the pot again.
I know.
He's
I know.
stirring it. He's stirring it up.
That's what he does.
But I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm just taking this all in. I'm kind of like an in the moment type person. I'm not. I'm kind of grateful with anything I tend to get. Because if I go anywhere or I reach out to anybody, my main thing is, hey, I just want an opportunity. I'll come in and do what you need me to do, and if you like me, I will gladly come back. I just want to get to a point where, as much as everyone else will give me flowers and tell me this and tell me that, it won't necessarily register with me because I won't say I'm not good with taking all that, but it's kind of just like, everybody's their own biggest critique. And all this is new for me. I think I'm at one level, but then somebody will tell me I'm at another level. And I'm like, all right, that's great. But I think, I don't think that there's a ceiling on where I could go. I'm still learning. I talk to Marsha when I can. Marsha is always a great mentor, role model, gives out great advice. Same thing with Jazz. Um, Even Miles too. There's so many people that I have access to that just pour in knowledge, and I just take it all in here, and I hope when I go somewhere that it leads to open a door. But I hope to be maybe in a NWA, TNA, AEW, possibly WWE. Hopefully within the next, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. Hopefully sooner than that. I mean, like I said, I'm just grateful. So whatever I get, I would be happy.
One more question before I give it over to Red for the roses. If we asked Rachel right now, where would she think you're going and what would she want for you?
Uh-huh. Hold on. Let me ask Rachel.
I mean, is she going to stand by her man or?
Hey, where do you see us in the next 3 to 5 years? Uh-huh. What? You too much. You are too much. You better stop that. Oh, I'm sorry.
I hope she's
Rachel
not
likes
talking
to
about
tell
kids.
me. Rachel likes to tell me I'm too modest, but Rachel, she sees me at the top. She has big hopes for me. She sees us going multiple places. Yeah.
Well, if your belt is on your side, I mean, what more do you need in this life? See, Red, this has got to be a great moment for you because you have come on this show and for 3, almost 4 years now, you have been giving roses on a weekly basis to some of the best and brightest in this industry. And tonight, you get a chance to give roses to family. And I can't wait to listen to it because this is one of my favorite parts of the show. And C-Red always delivers. He says so himself. So it's time for the roses.
Uh-oh.
He gonna cry. He gonna cry.
I'm gonna try not to.
Yeah.
Nah,
Don't
how
cry
about
every
that?
time.
Yeah, I just gave you a Shogun, yeah. Yeah.
So here's the funny part, since you have to have one of those every show. Outside of the particular show that I spoke of earlier, on the Southeast side, I remember Steele at LOW, but I don't outside of that show. Only because, again, our bookings were everywhere.
Very sporadic.
No, I mean as far as me, like being somewhere every weekend
Oh
and
yeah. That's true.
when what impressed me, so you have to kind of go back. And it is now called IUWA. But it was a charity event for Chris Classic's brother who had just passed. And I get there, and three guys, well, really four of them walk up to me, and they wanted advice. Chris Classic, D'Angelo Steele, JPH, and I can't think of his partner's name to save my life right now.
I'm not talking about Trey.
Yeah, Trey. And they sat down. So when I say it was a real learning tree moment, it was that these four young men sat, listened, and took my advice, which was a lot of people ask, but then they still do whatever they want to do. So D'Angelo Steele has grown tremendously as a wrestler and as a worker over the past few years. And I even told him this. If we all remember, JPH had just came back from the Dustin Rhodes Wrestling Academy.
I remember
Been on TV. He was hot. And C3 decided, since the Spirit of Detroit didn't show up for a tag team shot that they were supposed to get, that night it would be D'Angelo Steele versus JPH. I called commentary.
That was a good match.
To watch Steele go out there and hang, and at some points even outshine JPH, I was amazed. And I told him this that night. To watch him fight back and forth. We remember he had I don't want to say it was a TLC match, but it was a tables and chairs match at Crash Test. On the personal side, concern. On the professional side, I wasn't. And he delivered in what I consider the match of the night. On a personal level, we were Steele was one of the boys, per se. You know what I mean? And to this day, I won't give the full rundown because I know she's gonna watch this. But in a nutshell, he told me to contact his mother. I did. But I told him I needed to see, and this is crazy, I need to see her Facebook page. I need to see a picture. And when I saw it, I said, damn, it's still an address. Like, they look identical. Like, what the hell? Like, they look so much alike. And I couldn't believe, I was like, this woman she don't want to talk to me. She don't want to talk to me. She don't want to talk to me.
I got nothing.
And you can't. At this point in my life,
Don't think about being a trust, Steve.
I was going through some stuff, and I had prayed to God. I said, God, don't send me someone who I want. Send me somebody who I need. And, I'm not ashamed to say it. We talked that Sunday, and we met that Tuesday. And from the moment I laid eyes on her, I told her she was going to be my wife. She thought I was batshit crazy. She said she wasn't even looking to get married. Like, so she wasn't looking to get married, but I knew God had sent what I needed. And that's all through Courtney. I will give him his shoot back. I have watched you mature over these past few years.
Many diaper changes.
Steve with the jokes. I have watched you be more dependable, more reliable, not just to your family, but your family at home. I am proud of the father that you have been. I am proud of the man that you have become. You, day by day, are finding different ways for me to kind of poke my chest out. And in reality, I have no right to, but you are my son. And I poke my chest out and say, my son did that. My son can do this. I know whatever the future holds. Well, one thing I know the future will hold, and I'm not worried about it. You're gonna shit in your pants for a while, but it's to be expected. But everything else, I know you will handle it because, again, I've seen the growth. I couldn't be more prouder of you and all the things that you have done and the things that you are doing. And I've told you before, and I'll say it publicly here. I don't care. I love you. You are my son, and nobody can take that away. And I will be here regardless. There's a little side note nobody knows. Now, Steve maybe he'll pay attention and understand. People will understand when you call me Papa Red. Nobody gets it. So, because my youngest stepson calls me Sean, but he's the only one to still on Papa Red. And to his sister, I'm just Red. So, but to have them acknowledge my career is pretty wonderful, and I couldn't be more happier, or I couldn't be more blessed to have Steele as my son. And I will do everything in my power to make sure he gets everything he deserves, and possibly more out of this business. So again, love you, son.
Love you too, Papa Red.
Wow, that was sad. I mean, that was beautifully executed. It was well done. I kept thinking about the old Yeller match myself, and how all those things are going to come back to bite you in the ass. Papa Red gets taken out to the woodshed, 2 clicks home, but that's okay. That's how
about that
works.
clothesline to the back, huh?
Bam, bam.
You the only one that wants that, Steve. You're the only.
It wasn't quick. It was sudden, is what it was. That was well done, Red. That was nice, you know. And you know, you said he shits himself, so you might have to change some diapers. That could be a real thing. It could be real.
Oh.
D'Angelo Steele, I did not bring you on this show tonight to square off with you. I know we have our little disagreements at IPW, but tonight is to celebrate your extraordinary career and all of your accomplishments. And you know, we're very pleased. We're very proud. You are a credit to your occupation. You're a credit to this business. And wherever I go, I recommend, you know, that people say, "Hey, who's good right now? Check out Steele, because you're good. You're worth it." I would put my name on your name, because I think you would go places and make me look smart, not stupid. And that's the best compliment. That's the best compliment I can give you. I appreciate you taking time out of your birthday. I know it's not easy to come on a Tuesday night with your schedule, but you took time for us, and we really, really appreciate it. You're a really outstanding athlete, and you're going to go far in this business. Hopefully Red gets his thumb out of his ass and gets you up to NWA soon. So DC can have a look at you, because I think he'll like you as much as I do. Now, with that out of the way, fuck yourself. Get that rat ass championship belt out of my face. Get in my face again, and there's going to be issues.
Oh, okay.
I don't care how crazy you look at me, and you look crazy, but I can look crazy too.
All right, Steve.
So I ain't going for your championship, but I will take a bite out of your ass if I have to.
We're gonna see about that one. We are gonna see about
As
that
we've been talking, the hoop is being erected, which is a testament to the modern engineering of the Smith household.
That was nasty, Steve. I don't think you should say it.
It's too late. They said it. It's out.
It's out there on the interweb, so it must be true.
I know, right?
Steele, have a great birthday. You know, have a great holiday. Thanks for coming on the show. You can log off now, because we're going to talk about you behind your back.
What?
That's how we do it.
Hey, wait.
Here he comes.
Well, not you, Dad. Not you, Dad. Your birthday is today?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
It's tomorrow. Oh, okay. I was just curious, because this man's birthday is today.
Hey, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
He can't hear you. They can't hear you. I'm in the process of doing a podcast right now.
Okay.
So I just told them your birthday was today.
Yeah, I'm mine today.
Yeah, and D'Angelo Steele's is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So
it's PX.
I thought that you
See,
and so it's PX.
that's how I know he okay, because he a cancer.
I'm not
Yes,
sure if you
sir.
heard that.
Mm-hmm. Cancer in the best
Okay.
side. You know it.
But they all agree. So, you know, they all agree. Okay. I was just curious. I was like, wait, you share the same as my. Okay, that's fine. All right, my bad. Continue on with talking shit to him.
It's the Rion drop-ins that everybody loves. That's why we still do this. All right, Steele, thank you so much. Happy holiday, happy birthday, and we'll see you down the road in July in Richton Park.
Hey,
I'll see you Saturday representing the board.
hey, calm yourself, Steve. We got to tell people where they are able to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The C3. It's the C3 Ultimate Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, D'Angelo Steele. This Saturday at 105 North Court Street, Crown Point, Indiana.
Max has got your back. There's the graphic.
On the Square Sports Academy. Doors open at 1. Showtime is 1:15.
Credit's gonna kill you. Credit's gonna kill you.
Real rundown. Again, we already know for the C3 Ultimate title, it is Joseph Ira Credit and Rockin' Rivera versus the champ.
Sexy psychopath.
The sexy psychopath. Also in the semi-main event, it is the ARC and still is part of the ARC also. But it is.
Are you in the ARC, Red?
What?
Are you in the ARC?
I'm the founder.
Are you fighting?
No, I'm the founder. I just
Sure
sit
you're not
back.
fighting because
I'm
sabbatical
positive.
is getting a little obtuse. The definition
No,
of sabbatical, you're changing meanings and stuff.
I'm fine. It is Renee Van
Yeller match.
Renee Van Peebles versus Brittany K. For the Urban Culture title, Marcelo Spade versus Mark Reconcile. JPH will face an opponent called Nameless. In a match that the board deemed necessary. It is Kenny Nye versus Classic Alpha, Chris Classic.
So you put that together, huh, Steve?
With guest referee Atlas J. Horn.
That's a solid match right there.
And for whatever reason, Mike Valentine has to use his grand chance contract at this show. Otherwise it becomes not, he forfeits it and it becomes non-void. Is headed for over a year and has not used it. So
can you cash in on anybody?
He can cash it in on anybody.
On Steele?
He don't want them problems.
I'm pretty.
He don't want them problems.
Don't put that out there. It's gonna be a waste of a cash room. Don't do that. Don't put that out there, Steve. It's gonna be a waste. He probably have an easier time cashing in on Renee.
I don't know about all that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So every champion at C3 Ultimate Wrestling, ain't no punks. Oh, and the tag team titles. I am so sorry. The tag team titles are on the line as the tag team champions, the ARC, Miles Mercer and Stampede Jackson, defend their newly won titles against the Invoked. But we really don't give a fuck about the Invoked, so we ain't worried. So
hey, isn't that guy on the ARC team? Wasn't he a security guard I saw recently?
Yeah.
Why do you look familiar?
Yeah, you know, the ARC, we're making appearances everywhere.
Yeah, what about your son though?
He's coming. He's coming.
I was at an MLW show.
Stop right. He's
stirring the pot. I see what you're trying to do, Steve. You and this whole board thing. It's getting you out of control.
Just saying. You know, take your family to NWA for Christ's sake.
You see what I got to deal with every damn week? Him just stirring the fucking pot.
Just say, hey, Bill, I got a kid. We got to eat.
I got a kid.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hey, I got a kid.
Despite all your rage, you gotta give him a shot.
Okay. Make sure it comes out your pay. All right. All right.
You know, like I said, we get what we get. That's a big show this Saturday. And there's not a lot of companies running the couple of days after the 4th. So you got no reason. It's a matinee. So if you're gonna see fireworks or go to a parade, no reason you can't go do this first. They don't shoot fireworks until it's nighttime. Go see the fireworks during the daytime there, and go see your barbecue and your fireworks later on in the night. You can do 2 things on a Saturday. So
I agree.
multitask, for Christ's sake.
I agree.
I don't know how it would be received if I made an appearance at this point. People might start to talk, but we're not going to let them. We're not going to let them. D'Angelo Steele, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. Happy birthday, young man, and have a great holiday. And maybe we will see you Saturday.
Well, thank you, Steve, for having me. I appreciate you bringing me on your platform. As much as you like to throw the hate in my face every time I see you,
Every time.
I really appreciate it. I'm not used to this type of stuff. So, again, thank you. I'm grateful. I appreciate it. Thank you for getting me out here. And anytime you want me to come back, I will graciously do it. And if I happen to see you Saturday, I might kick you in the face.
You know what? I'll just as you're going, I'll just say, Rachel.
Goodbye, Steve.
Hey, Steele,
Yeah.
Steele, before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
GGDD.
Breon, that's racist. That's
too.
just
Oh,
racist.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
That's racist.
No, it's not.
calling it.
That is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. That is definitely a conversation that I will have with y'all off of the air.
Saturday. If you're there Saturday, I'll fill you in.
All right.
All right.
I just wanted to make sure that you remember.
Oh, I always remember.
All right. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, D'Angelo. We'll talk to you next time.
All right.
Later, son.
And he's gone. You know what? He has got such great charisma and he talks so well. I enjoyed having him on Reddit. It was a great idea. And I wish we would have done it sooner. I hope we get to have him back on real soon because despite how much I hate him, I actually do really like what he does. I think he's very entertaining.
Well, I appreciate it. He doesn't, I'm not gonna say he doesn't get the credit or the respect, but I think a lot of people underestimate him.
A lot of just like Miles. I mean, there are just some people out there that do the work and are really good at what they do, and they don't get all the accolades. I'm glad to see Miles getting his due now a little bit, but I kind of feel like Steele is the same. He works hard, does well, can do many things, and just doesn't get the rub.
Very true. Very true.
So let's while we're here, let's talk a little bit about what went down in Highland Park on Friday night. Red, your match was the springboard into absolute chaos that tilted NWA on its ear. You want to recount for the kids what shit went down in your match and then after your match?
Well, you really have to go back to the previous show where Billy Corgan came out.
Now, Billy wasn't there this past Friday because Smashing Pumpkins were selling out amphitheaters in Croatia. Amphitheaters in Croatia. That's a pretty neat trick. That's the power of the Pumpkins.
That's what they do. But last show he kind of cut Joe Alonso down, kind of put him in his place. Joe had been cocky because he cheated to win and beat Charlie. And Billy just decided that at this show, it would be Charlie and Miles Mercer, along with me in their corner, versus Joe Alonso, the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champ, and a partner of his choosing. Well, Weeks later, we find out he has picked Daisy Kills as his partner. But in
Hard
this,
subject to change.
always. So we find out that it is no longer Daisy Kills, but it is Alex Taylor who will be his partner.
Southern
Uh,
Six, Alex Taylor.
Yeah,
That
Southern
action's on a
Six.
fucking roll.
It kind of threw our game plan a little bit. Uh,
I kept looking back, waiting for Morton and the Thrillbilly to come out.
I wouldn't have been shocked.
You got your ass kicked.
It was a lot of shenanigans. I thought I had shenanigans, but oh my God.
You did. You'd had shenanigans. I saw your shenanigans.
I didn't have shenanigans. I had payback for everything that they had done to Miles and Charlie. At some point I had to intervene, but the ref, you saw it, but did the ref see it? So unfortunately, Miles, they call them high risk maneuvers for a reason. And Miles took a high risk, and Alex hit him with his finisher, but for some reason, instead of just letting Alex get the pin, Joe covered Miles and
Former Mr. NWA.
Hold on, but we haven't got there because they get the victory, and then we're leaving. And as we're leaving, there's still all this commotion in the ring.
I was about to tell the people goodbye. Thanks for coming.
Oh, dude, you didn't have to. There were people literally as soon as the bell went ding ding, like 3 ding ding ding, it's over with, right? I saw at least 5 people get up and start heading to the door. Like,
You never leave a Marvel movie before the credits roll.
And they were leaving, and as we're walking out,
it was a post-credit scene.
Right, but there's this commotion between Joe and Alex demanded a title shot right then and there. Now, from there, you have to take it because I know what happens.
That was very un-Joe Alonzo-like to give someone a title shot on the fly. He usually says, no, I'm going to make some money on this, and he'll take it to another city or the next month. But Alonzo, a little bit of weakness in his game. Said, all right, you want it, you got it, and then all hell broke loose.
And what happens? That is correct, ladies and gentlemen, that anybody stayed. There is now a new NWA Junior World Heavyweight Champion. And he's part of the Southern Six, and his name is Alex Taylor.
Shocked me, shocked the sound guy, shocked the crowd that was there, shocked everybody. I wonder if Billy Corgan felt a disturbance in the force in Croatia.
I don't know if he
felt in the middle of playing 1979. It's like, darn, darn, darn. What's that?
I don't know if he felt a disturbance, but I will say, I'm sure he his phone was blowing up.
Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure by the time he got off stage, his phone had blown up,
Did you do any sneaky stuff? Get up, kind of check out any other matches, peep through the curtain or anything? Did you see any of the other stuff?
Oh, of course. The Soul Touchers versus Big Mood. I was right there.
That was
Like,
Moody and Mateo performed well, but they made some mistakes that they should know better in instigating Marche and Jazz. I just thought they egged him on too much. And at one point, Marche just said, that's fucking enough. And then he went into all day mode.
I think, you know, if you remember, we kind of briefly talked about it last week. I didn't necessarily I wasn't gonna not give them credit, but they're just getting together, and not like 2 weeks ago, but they haven't been together as long as Marche and Jazz. So it's a whole lot of experience there.
And when you're battling the Soul Touches, you're battling a legacy too.
You know, two guys with 20 over 20 years in the business. So that's 40 years combined.
No doubt.
You know. So were they really gonna be and I mean there was a couple of times where it looked like, they might be able to pull it off. But if you know anybody with more heart than Jazz and Marche, I don't know who it could be.
Oh, those chops. Oh, those motherfucking chops.
Oh, of course. But that's the thing. Like, for Moody to get up, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna chop with Marche. Like, you chopped Marche, you didn't think you were gonna get one back.
Like I said, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. And when it's just there's just too much chopping going on. And of course, the Soul Touches come out on top. Other matches that were really great. The BOZ, obviously a guy that's always there at NWA Chicago, taking on the newly signed NWA superstar Carson Drake. And that's the first time I've ever had a chance to see Carson Drake fight. He's pretty fucking good.
I didn't get to see the match per se, but I do. It was also my first time of meeting Carson. So I was I have seen some of the footage. And yeah, the BLZ. You know,
it's hard to beat Boz in Chicago, isn't it?
Yeah, So it was like, okay, but I guess the opening match was the surprise of the night, because at NWA Chicago, anybody can show up.
Rafael Quintero had a match, but I don't think Rafael Quintero, the diamond in the rough, had any idea that he was going to be facing the legendary superstar. Say it with pride, Red.
Homicide.
Oh my God. Homicide, was he a cool motherfucker or what?
Dude, so
that was my first time meeting him. I marked out.
But I had been, and I told this to him, and it was kind of put on my Facebook page. Before I got into business again, I would go to every indie show I could. And IWA Mid-South used to run out of Highland, Indiana. Out of this super fucking small gym. But you didn't care. And to see him up close and personal, like in that gym, was like there were two people that made me believe that I could be in this business. Rey Mysterio, Homicide. And it was like, shit. And
he's not young as spring anymore either, and he could go.
No, he could still go. And it was like, but a lot of times, and we've had this talk on the show, about don't meet your idols,
right.
But this was one of the times where this was against that. He was very receptive and cool to talk to. So I was pleased. I was pleased, you know. But I think everybody that was there at that show was not expecting homicide. Nobody was expecting
Nobody
homicide.
saw that coming at all, especially a Rafael Quintero. Although he put up a hell of a fight, did himself proud. He is going to be on the next level really soon. He is an outstanding young talent, and he will be back. A
Yeah.
couple of the other matches that really blew me away. NWA superstar Brian Idol taking on the punk rock prince Jordan Cross, I thought was a terrific match. And Jordan Cross, as young a man as he is, he did not show any signs of reverence, fear, or otherwise. He went right at Brian Idol. And Brian Idol right now might be one of the most talented superstars on the NWA roster, period. And they went back and forth, tit for tat, the entire length of that match. And though Idol gets the win, I think Jordan Cross deserves.
I think he got the respect.
I think he got the respect of Brian Idol. He got the respect of that crowd. I think he got the respect of NWA. And I know they will ask him back because, we know Jordan Cross. I mean, we've all been to super wrestlers. We know how good that kid is. We know he's a second generation superstar. He's been taught right. He is fantastic. He is skilled. He can do it all. And I think NWA he's now on their radar too. And I think Brian Idol knows that match might need to be run back at some point because I'd like to see it again. And you gotta love Brian Idol getting up in front of that crowd and speaking on behalf of NWA. It's great to see leaders lead in a positive way. So hats off to Brian Idol, who just celebrated a birthday as well. So happy birthday, boss. I hope you had a good one. And watching leaders lead is cool stuff. And all the respect in the world to him, but all the respect in the world to Jordan Cross for a few moments, it looked like he might go over in that match, and that was pretty impressive.
What about the women's match?
That was next on my list. I want to give this to Lily La Pescadita Ruiz. CSW superstar was in a triple threat match against two of the baddest bitches that are wearing wrestling boots these days in NWA superstars Natalia Markova and Tiffany Nieves, La Princesa. They had a match last month or at the last show that people are still talking about. It was violent. It was aggressive. And, you thought that putting poor Lily in the middle of this dispute that they're having is not doing any favors to Lily. But Lily showed up. Lily showed out. And Lily almost won that fucking match. There were a couple of times where I thought she had it and was going to shock the world. I have seen Lily fight since day one at CSW. I am very familiar with her. I have called a lot of matches she's been involved in. I saw her in the Futures Royal. I saw her doing extra work. She works her ass off. Her and Iniesta work their asses off to be great, and they are. But she leveled up. She leveled the fuck up in that match, and you've got praise coming at her from both Markova and Nieves for her performance. So, Lily, we knew you had it in you. Congratulations. She is got to be NWA at this point. She is CSW's. She is the NWA girl right now because you've seen all the clips on X and on social media. She was up to that challenge. She didn't win. Maybe she didn't get the W, but she got the respect. And it was an amazing match.
I agree.
Nieves is such a gifted athlete, and she is such a great villain. And Markova is just such a dynamo in that ring. And the three of them created a magic story that everybody in the building just loved. So what a match it was. Someone has to win, and it was Nieves again by less than honorable intentions, I guess you could say. But what a fucking match it was. What are some of the other things? Oh, the gauntlet match. Did you get a chance to hear about that gauntlet match?
I didn't hear about it.
The gauntlet match. The previous show, Magic Jake did a gauntlet match in which he was the last entrant. And a lot of people were pissed off at that. So he came out and he says, I'm going to start and I'm going to go through everybody. So he went through everybody. Sam Eli from the CSW dojo came out, and I was so proud of Sam. I love Sam. Sam works his ass off, doesn't get a lot of credit, but he took Magic Jake to the wall, and Magic Jake gave him a lot of praise, but he didn't get the job done. Then came Sidney Porter, and Sidney Porter's a bad, bad man from Baltimore. Couldn't get it done. Then we have an unexpected entrant in one Daisy Kill, who came out, and he had the momentum, and he took Magic Jake and beat him out of his own gauntlet. And that's after Magic Jake had his hands full fighting multiple other really good competitors. And then, while nobody was looking, Nathan Nile, the Lizard Man from CSW, comes out and gets the pin on Daisy Kill. So the winner of the gauntlet is CSW's own Nathan Nile. So CSW rocking out in Highland Park at NWA Chicago. And we had Jason Kill, sibling of Daisy Kill, taking on Kenny Sutra. And Jason Kill is a fucking monster. The dude's about 7 feet tall, weighs about 400 pounds, 100% badass. And poor Kenny never had a chance. And then, of course, more CSW superstars. Mario versus Axel. And, although they're both big stars at CSW, Axel has a little bit of an ARC attitude problem where he has to cheat to win. And that's what he did to beat Mario Pardua.
Hey.
But then there was the dark match at the beginning of the show, right off the bat. CSW alum Chris Miller, along with Moondog Greg Murray, took on the youngest tag team on the planet in Jack Valor and Eddie Grayson. Those kids are still in high school. And although Miller does what Miller does and cheated to win, NWA is in love with Grayson and Valor. What a job by those two. They lit that room up with their aerial expertise. It was just fun to watch. The whole night was fun to watch. Of all the shows we've had so far, I think this is the one that entertained me the most. Because from opening bell to that upset in the junior heavyweight world championship match, it was a very entertaining show to watch. So NWA Chicago has set a bar, and I can't wait to see how they raise it, because that's what NWA does, always raises the bar. So that's all I have to say about that. Red, anything to add? Or did we pretty much cover it?
We covered it all.
We covered it all. This show, well, you know what? Before I talk about that, Top Fan, you there? Oh, Top Fan. Top Fan is on the beach somewhere, and it looks like his forehead is at 2 o'clock and his hands are at about 6 o'clock. So I don't know what the fuck.
I am here in the magical beaches of Lamont, celebrating the Acromania vacation, cracking open some old styles and not even worrying about what's going to happen when I face Danny this weekend for the LIM Beer Drinking Championship. Everything's going to be fine.
Red, go get your grandson. He's not right. That boy ain't right.
I don't know what's going on.
The fourth mother box knows it. Travis and Turtle know it. The LIM know it. Rocket Pro Wrestling know it. There's something wrong with you, man. I don't know what it is, but you better make that shit right.
No, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong, Steve. I don't think there's anything wrong. I'm on vacation. Why would anything be wrong on vacation?
I kind of feel like PX has an evil twin, and this is him.
Nope.
That's
no,
horrific,
no
because
evil
that would mean
twin.
there are two of them.
I just have a brother who's ungrateful and wants to take away from me something that he said himself in December that nobody is worthy of holding the LIM title but the top fan.
I think he's a better fan than you.
Really?
I do.
Where has he been? All right, here's the thing. He was the champion well before I was. I've defended it on multiple occasions. Did Danny defend the LIM beer drinking championship at all? He
I feel
didn't.
like
He talked about it a lot, but he didn't.
I feel like in the
I have.
pecking order of the LIM, you're like a third lieutenant. There's Danny, there's Gabagool, there's the sexy one. I feel like you're the fourth tier as top.
Fourth?
When you were
Fourth?
PX,
Really?
you were the podcast papa. You were the L in the LIM. Now this top fan bullshit. Your ratings are dropping, son, and you need to get that shit fixed.
Fourth tier. I mean, does that make Smiley McGee the fifth tier? Are you saying that Simp, the world-class hacker that we have, is he sixth tier to you, Steve?
I'm just
You
saying.
shouldn't be talking down to the other members of the LIM.
I am not talking down to him. I'm just saying that you see, let's put this in terms of music charts. If you guys were the Hot 100, the ones below you are rising. See, you're the hit that's been played out. You are Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You at week 39 at number 1. You've got nowhere to go but down. And Boys to Men with Mariah, One Sweet Day, is heading up that chart, looking to put a foot in your ass.
Here's the thing, because you compared me to Whitney Houston, right? Even though she fell down the charts, she still had an amazing voice.
And then she died.
So you're saying
And it crack is whack.
But
Crack
she
is whack.
still had an amazing voice, and her music lives on, just like how the top fan is going to live on in the hearts and minds of the mouth breathers in the crowd that I sit with.
The mouth breathers. All right. We need to have an intervention. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to talk to Tom of the Fourth Mother Box. I'm going to talk to Travis and Turtle. Grandpa Red, we're going to have an intervention where we're going to sit down and try to get this bullshit out of your system. I don't know what the fuck happened to you. I don't know when this went bad. I don't know. Did Joey Roth pee in your mouth or something? I don't know where you've gotten this poison.
Yeah.
Was it the Wizard's elixir that fucked you up? I don't know.
I
But
think so.
Fix this shit. We need to fix this shit.
I mean, here's the thing, Steve. Like I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, and seemingly you're not hearing me. I have had to do what I've had to do in order to make sure that the LIM remains relevant, because we are very close to a path of obscurity, because no other member of the LIM, despite their passion, and they are passionate and they are loud, they're growing complacent. And they're okay with growing complacent. And this is a business where I'm sure you, Steve, and you, C-Red, have seen a lot of people that have grown complacent. And where do they wind up? I'm just making
On
sure
TV.
that is, but they've grown.
True.
Tell me I'm wrong. You tell me I'm wrong.
I didn't say. I agree.
Hex,
The thing is,
it's not that I'm not hearing you. I'm just simply tired of listening.
I mean, like I said, this weekend, I will be putting my LIM beer drinking championship on the line against Danny, who I rightfully kicked in the nuts, because I think he needed a kick in the nuts to see what exactly I have been
Nobody needs
talking
a
about.
kick in the nuts.
Sometimes you do need a kick
What
in
are
the
you, a
nuts in life,
child?
Steve. Not
You know
a
who you
child.
are? You know who you are? You are Elias in Clerks 2.
I have not seen Clerks 2. Top fans have not seen Clerks 2. He
Pillow
probably should watch more Kevin Smith movies, but
Pillow
he has not seen Clerks 2.
You don't remember Elias, Red? Come on.
I remember Elias, but for him to say he has not seen Clerks 2, oh, I'm offended.
Go watch Clerks 2, Top Fan. You are Elias. In fact, from now on going forward, I'm calling you Top Fan Elias.
I'll allow it. He was a great guitarist on WWE. That's my only point of reference with Elias. I walked with
I said
Elias
watch the movie. It's an hour and 20 minutes. It'll be over before you know it.
I'll check it out.
And it's gonna make you want to see a donkey show.
Even though you have been spreading lies and rumors about me supporting the idols over the past few weeks, I will watch Clerks.
Who was at Joey Ross' birthday party?
I wasn't there. I wouldn't know. I saw pictures. I know Nani was there. I know the Shelleys were there. I know Rion was there. That's about all I know. Roxy Hart was there. I've only seen the pictures. I was not there. Top fans did not go to Joey Ross' birthday party.
You know what awful? Maybe you're undeniable too. Maybe you're the greatest double agent of all time. Wizard Elixir is some magical shit.
I mean, again, this idea has been going in my head for a
Maybe
while.
you're responsible for Blackburn. And
Before anything else gets said, I'm sorry. I just want to confirm that PX was not there at Joey Ross deal. I was there. I was there right around the time that they were leaving. I was there they were just getting ready to leave, and they ended up saying another hour because I was like around. And I can tell you that in the time that I was there, they were not. He was PX or Top Fan or whatever he's calling himself now was not there.
But you were only there for an hour. You weren't there for the whole thing. Maybe PX was there early. Only time was
maybe.
I wasn't there.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Wasn't even there.
If you're behind Blackburn, then you and I are gonna have problems, and I'm gonna take that belt off your shoulder myself.
Nah, this is staying around my shoulder, especially on Saturday when I face Danny. And the rest of the LIM and the rest of the mouth breathers are going to learn to respect the beer drinking champion, and they're going to learn to respect the Top Fan, because I am 3 steps ahead of Tony Gabagool, who inserted himself childishly in a family affair. Who inserts themselves into family problems?
See, Red.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Decides to put me and my beer drinking championship against Danny, who barely defended it at all. Didn't defend it at all, I should say. And now what is he going to do with it if he were to beat me for it? Is he going to just stay around, make up title defenses on the East Coast? Come on. I'm still going to be the champion at the end of Aftermania.
You know how I feel right now, C Red?
I really don't. But you opened this door.
I feel like I did when I was watching that debate the other night. Frustrated, confused, and I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Because, like I said, I hear him, but I'm just not listening.
You the one that went this road. We got a whole nother show to cover.
Let's talk about what you got to cover. C3, right?
No. What happened Sunday?
Right, IPW. Well, I don't have a great memory of IPW because I got my face ripped off and I got upstaged by a pineapple.
Well, we do know.
Hold on. Before you guys said, I heard him getting himself upstaged by a pineapple.
I didn't.
I'm the one that lost. I'm the one that lost the match. You're so worried about getting upstaged. I'm the one that actually lost the match. I don't understand why you keep bringing this pineapple thing.
But you never lose.
Did lose the match.
You never
Steve.
really lose.
But that's what happens, Steve. That's why I don't understand. Like why
I was unconscious. I don't remember. I don't remember the victory.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't, Steve. You were very much awake. You were very much awake. You know what?
Rion's mad now. He was mad on Sunday too. I'm not a good friend. I try. You know what the worst part about Sunday was?
What was that?
Rion made it seem like I thought it was I mean, there weren't many empty seats in that building. There was a lot of people there. I kept getting up to do things and people kept walking in. So I thought it was a great crowd. But you know what I didn't like?
What didn't you like?
I didn't like Michaels and I didn't like Gray.
You acting like that's something new, like that was gonna change.
And now, my takeaway is what the fuck is the Misfits of Science bit that Gustavo and now his manager and he's put together a posse in the span of a show. What the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea.
Are they coming after the ARC? Are
They don't
going
want
after
no part of
the
that.
workhorses?
But I can go after the workhorse.
I mean, don't we have enough supernatural shit going on in wrestling right now? Now we got to deal with this.
Hey, I'm just saying they could deal with the workhorses. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Let's talk about the Royal, because that was as entertaining and interesting, and a lot of crazy things happened in the Royal.
Did it not?
Well, look he's got a fucking Ryan Matthews timeout.
It's like a fan. It is a bit humid. Global warming and climate change. It's really taking
Ask your
effect.
goddamn question and shut your mouth.
I just got to give another shout out to the workhorses for giving me a muffin, for plugging their merchandise.
You are 6 seconds away from being ejected from this podcast.
Hey,
I am going to cancel you.
I've only used one timeout.
I'm going to give you a permanent timeout.
It's true.
I got my hand on the trigger right now. Just be very careful what you say next.
I got my plug in. I got my shit in. I'm
because
good.
Your arms are too short to box with God.
Was that a short joke? Really, Steve?
No. I'll gladly fight him. I'll gladly fight God. Cut me off. I'll gladly do it. Go right ahead. Cut me off.
I'm not cutting you off. I would never do that.
I'll gladly fight God. Cut me off. 100%. Cut me off. Ban me. I'll be all right.
You ain't getting out of that easy. Not that easy, right? Not that easy.
Hold on. You don't even know the difference between red and green. Come on. Let's go. It's okay. It's totally fine.
We love you, Rion. We're not cutting the line. You'll have to cut us. We're not cutting you. Red, what was your favorite part of the Royal? Because you were in the Royal for a while. For a man on sabbatical, you had a lengthy time in that Royal eliminating people, and then you eliminated yourself. Take us back inside the Royal.
What do you want me to say? Math is
you were there, so tell me what happened.
Math is a beautiful thing. Again, Chad Bro came out and he's not a featherweight.
I've seen you fight bigger.
Who? Did you not see me try to chop this man and they did nothing to him?
Well, that's because your chops aren't very powerful. I mean, they ain't Marche chops. I'm going to get chopped next time, aren't I?
Yeah.
That's not good. That was not what I meant to say. Let's move on.
Yeah. So
you can't chop me, you're on sabbatical. Goes against the rules.
No, it don't.
We had a party for you about sabbatical.
Hey, guess what? You keep talking. Chop City.
Chop City. Well, we had a lot of that. The winner of the Royal was the story of the show, I thought. We have been watching Jay Thunder for years. I remember when Jay Thunder broke in and debuted at GPW in 2019. And he was part of a tag team, Big T and Sweet T, out there, part of Johnny Wild's group. And he had a golf gimmick going, which I thought was very interesting. And I've watched him progress over the years, but I think he had a coming out party on Sunday because he was fighting some of the top shelf talent in this business, let alone the area.
Right.
Aaron Stone, Marche Rocket, they were all there. Shaq Jordan, they were all in there.
Muggsy
James, yep. There, you had some of the top shelf talent in this business, and somehow Jay Thunder dug deep down after taking a beating and got the win. And what did he get for his trouble?
Ugh.
Idiots in stereo, I like to call them, in Michaels. And see, they can't do shit by themselves. They always have to do things in packs with 2 or 3 people. And it's sad. It's just sad.
Hey, you asked, and it just dawned on me, right? So our good friend, and sometimes enemy, Turtle, was entered, right?
You know how they say in life there's no such thing as free pizza? Turtle learned that lesson firsthand. Now, I don't know who that dude in the mask was.
Don't we all want to know? Like,
and he had 2 pieces of Beggar's fresh pizza. I could smell it. And Turtle went to that pizza like a moth to the flame.
But it wasn't pizza.
It wasn't pizza in the bottom box. Nah, it was a chain. Used to chain up monsters, not dogs. Not keep people out. That's Jurassic Park chains. They had Tyrannosaurus Rexes chained up with those chains. And he hit Turtle in the head with said chain.
And got a nasty lump on his head.
Got a nasty lump and no pizza. So poor Turtle didn't even make it in to the Rumble.
Well, he made it in, but he left real quickly.
He did live real. Oh, wait here. What do you want?
You know how he wouldn't have fallen for it? You know what he would have had to do? He would have bought Workhorse's merch on BrainbusterTees.com and ProWrestlingTees.com. Then it wouldn't have happened. Then he would have
The
seen
only
it
part
coming.
of that brood worth of shit is Captain Flamingo. Now that's an idea I can get behind.
Captain Flamingo, man, he took the world by storm.
As did the pineapple, but that's neither here nor there. Mention the Workhorses again and see what happens.
That
Continue, Red. Did you catch Rion dancing with the pineapple? Did you see that?
Yeah, that came across this morning. Yeah.
That is one of those. See, that's why you come to IPW for moments like that. Rion skills, dancing with a pineapple.
I think it was more of his reaction to certain things. I think the pineapple was, as we say, over. But I think even Rion, being the information liaison, was not expecting said things to happen, or the pineapple to do certain things, and he kind of just lost it at least twice by my account. Which
A lot of people
again, that's one of those things that, like we constantly say, is magic at IPW. The crowd enjoys themselves, and they get to enjoy stuff that necessarily wasn't, you won't see, well, thank God we won't see dancing pineapples in WWE anymore. but we used to.
They're
But,
on Netflix. You never know.
well, yeah, it might be. Hopefully they get the damn library the way it was. Shit. That's what I want. You can't watch ECW and ain't no blood and ain't no cussing. What is it now? It's a 10-minute segment?
I don't know. Chad Gable had some blood.
I wish he would have stayed shot me.
The next IPW show, what's the date? It's July.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm annoyed. It is July 28th.
28. I just pulled it up.
Fucking annoyed. You're gonna have to forgive me.
Here we go.
Whenever we start talking about IPW stuff, I'm like, nobody gives a shit about that.
Here we go.
Nobody cares.
Everybody cares.
But
You are mistaken.
all right. Okay.
Go ahead, be annoyed. I'm good.
I'm not-
Here,
I don't have to say anything. You guys participated in said show. Like if you want to know what IPW represents, it's that photo right there that I have right there. That's me, everybody. That's me. That's what represents. That's me being information liaison and being in the Rumble at #1 as the Rocket Pro Rocket, provided by Mr. Top Fan because of him being able to talk to Mr. Undeniable himself, Steve Michaels, the Rocket Pro champion, and Damian Gray, Old School Cool, the IPW League champion. That is what IPW is. And before you say that can't be the case, if you don't believe me, then come to a show and see if that's the case. But the fact of the matter is, no one will, because that's the truth of the matter. No matter how many great moments that take place, no matter what goes on, the fact of the matter is, this is what IPW is about right now. A deflated rocket that can't get off. Like, the internet don't lie. And as you can see, every single person in this chat just put their heads down because they didn't know what the fuck to do with that.
I know what to do with it, but I can't say. I'm trying to keep
No,
it.
it's okay because it's me. It's me. I'm the information liaison. What's the worst they could do? They fire me in the process?
I'm trying to keep PG-13. I'm not trying to cross over the
I
R.
didn't say anything bad other than describing what's in front of you. A deflated rocket that can't get off. It's right there. There's a rocket that clearly is deflated. I don't see what I said that was wrong right now.
But you know how my mind works, so
And that's fine, just like everyone else in the world. But I'm telling you the truth of what's in front of you. Where your mind goes after the fact is completely different.
Well, I didn't know you were a rocket, sir. So
Yeah, that's me. That's me in there.
I know it's you. I thought it was a crab. So
No, that's Hans Carden in CSW, the half crab.
so
First all together.
So
all right. We have reached the end.
Are you sure you was keep talking about the
hey, well, I don't give that. I got the biggest pop and I got that. And I'm just grateful.
Well, you were great. You were great. It was
that the fans have not forgot about me.
How did they forget about you? Hey, it's been 7 months.
7 months is a long time.
It's not that long.
In this business,
it's not even a school year.
6 months.
6 months.
You acting like a lot can you don't think a lot can happen in pro wrestling in 6 months?
It can, but you've been around.
That photo proves it. That photo proves it.
A lot can happen in 6 months. So
I suppose
you know.
Yeah, I want that old Yeller match so bad now.
No, not gonna happen.
So you can't come back.
Not gonna happen.
What do you want, Pat?
You know what I want, Steve? Do you really want to know what exactly it is that I want? What the
I don't. I
want?
honestly, like I said, I hear you, but I'm not listening.
Top fans want the people listening to this show to buy some Workhorses merch on Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com.
I warned you, right?
You did warn me.
I'll just talk to him myself. Don't even.
I warned you, right?
No, you ain't got to do that. Let me speak to him. Let me speak to top fans. I got time today. Everybody got shit to say, but don't nobody really want to say anything.
I'll give you your
time. Mr. P, what would you rather be called? Top fan or PX? Before I start saying
top fan.
Okay, I want to say thank you, TF. I want to say thank you for putting me in the position that I was in on Sunday. I want to say thank you for not being supportive in Joey Ross' birthday when he was there for that. I want to say thank you for being very supportive in the workhorses, even though the workhorses aren't putting in nearly as much work as they say that they are going to based on what you're doing for them. They're making you do it.
They gave me muffins.
Okay, that's great.
Muffins are delicious.
They give you muffins or muffin tops? Which ones are we talking about right now?
Muffins, blueberries. I got a blueberry muffin.
You got a blueberry muffin? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page with this. Okay, then my apologies. They gave you fruit. They gave you fruit, and I am sorry that that is the case. My information that I just received now is more accurate than the ones that I have been watching previously, so my apologies for that. I am very, very happy that you are doing this top fan thing and I'm able to talk to you face to face, even though it's not really face to face. You're probably over there, probably in that corner. If I had to take a guess because of how this is played, wait, there. Hopefully that works. So here's the thing, and this is just me in general. I have one question. How long is this top fan thing going to continue?
Until the LIM listens to what I have been trying to warn them about since June.
Okay, because what is it? Was it Nani Gonzalez? Is that her name from the Idolizers?
The cult.
N to the ANI.
Okay, just making sure I'm on the same page because she sent a live. She sent a video saying that you guys couldn't be there, but she was, and then I showed up and you guys still weren't there. And you're saying that everyone needs to see these things, but then you turn around and do the exact opposite of the thing that you're trying to. I'm just trying to make sure that you, and I say TF in the nicest way possible, have to figure out what the fuck. Because that's all I'm hearing when I see is the fuck. What do you mean? Like, how long we gotta deal with this? Like really, like how long does this thing have to go for?
Again, until the rest of the LIM realizes that what I've been saying and warning them about is the truth.
Based on your rules, there's 187 members. How long do you think this is going to go for?
Well, like, Tony Gabagool hasn't gotten it. Danny hasn't gotten it. Simp hasn't gotten it. I have no idea where Smiley stands. When they were voting to strip me of the LIM title, Smiley sent his vote, and it was a thing of corn, Rion. Corn. It's hard to interpret what corn means in a procedural Roberts rule vote. Double J.
You did this.
You don't get it yet.
I'm good with this.
You did this.
They don't get it.
100% good with this, Steve. Look at my eyes. See how serious I am. I'm 100% okay.
I'm about to get hit in the ear.
So here's the thing. While I'm putting this on, you do know that. Wait, was this in Indiana when he did this corn thing?
It must have been because there's more than just corn in Indiana. But
now I set you up for that. That's all they need to do is work with you. I don't understand why you can't work with everyone else. You knew where I was going when I said corn. And as soon as I said that, you understood it. The same way that I just made you understand that joke, you can go and make them understand the other stuff. It's not that hard. I'll give you 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It shouldn't be that difficult. I don't want to have to deal till fucking the end of the fall. And we just got to deal with Top Fan doing willy-nilly stuff for the sake of willy-nillyness. I'm not even sure if willy-nillyness is a word.
I think it should be because I really enjoyed it.
You got nothing?
Come on, Top Fan.
LIM has got to get with it, and everybody's got to get their workhorse merch on Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com.
In the name of TF. The fuck?
The fuck?
I'm sorry. I'm in the mood. I shouldn't be in the mood. But this IPW stuff is really getting to me. And it's going to continue to get to me until something changes. But We'll see what happens. The internet don't lie. And I can just continue to ramble on, but I'm not going to. This is what Steve wants. He likes when I show up. He likes when I say shit and just come in here and just disrupt the algorithm, so to speak.
We don't have algorithms.
Oh, yeah, you do.
We have problems.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Got problems.
Yeah, you do have one. Is everyone good in this as far as the IPW speak? Does anyone else need to say anything before I say anything else?
I think we're good.
So is Top Fan okay with Workhorse stuff?
I don't give a fuck about Top Fan. Like I said, I hear them, but I'm not listening.
I have one more question for Top Fan.
Of course you do.
How was your IPW experience when you were there?
IPW experience when I was there, felt it was good. I really, really enjoyed the show. Top fans enjoy IPW.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. If you think I'm going somewhere else with this, I'm not. I was just curious as far as your experience, because I could keep going on, but I'm like, no, I'm not. Because I think you guys nailed everything. You already talked about Steele. You already talked about what took place with Turtle. You already talked about what took place with Gustavo and the other things. Like, you've already talked about what happened with Steve. You already talked about the Rumble or the Royale with
Pineapple. We talked about the pineapple.
No, did anyone talk about Stone coming back and
we did?
and everything else?
Yeah.
All that stuff is out in the world now, so it's okay. We'll just see if it actually matters within the next couple of months, if it goes that long. Who knows at this point? I totally forgot what was going. I should probably talk to the board and see what's going on with that.
There are a lot of boards.
Isn't there a board?
There's always boards.
There's always boards. And maybe this one needs to be disbanded, because the way that this is playing out, it's if everyone has a board, then if everyone's up in the front office, who's doing the actual work in the field?
You know what? There's a word they've used to describe this for a long time. There's a lot of willy-nillyness going on.
I'm pretty sure that that's not what they said.
A lot of willy-nillyness.
It's fine.
This is our last show for a minute. We are going to take a couple of weeks off. The Power Hour will reconvene.
It's in the chat. Don't even it's in the chat. If you just look in the chat, Mr. Red, you would see that that's the case. I'm sorry. Red, if you had just looked in the chat, you would see that this
we are going
all you
to
have
take
to do is look.
We are going to take a brief summer hiatus.
I saw it in the chat.
We will
that
be
don't
back.
mean I like it.
We will be back on July 23rd live at Rabid Brewing to talk with Tobias and Andy about the Festival of the Goat Queen and the debut of Rabid Wrestling. So that will be fun. And then our next actual show of this nature will be in August when the GOAT of Menendez comes and teaches us math. So for Rion, for Red, I'm closing the shit out. You don't get to call a timeout now.
Let him do it. Let him do it.
All right,
Yeah, let me call. Yeah, let me call my fourth timeout.
Put the workhorses over. Put the workhorses over.
You can get your workhorses
put the workhorses over. You'll be fine.
Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com.
It's totally fine to put them over to get the t-shirts over.
PX, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to get this Top Fan shit out of your system. And when we reconvene at Rabid Brewing, if you're not any better, well, we're going to have a meeting at Freaknet Studios to find out your future.
Is this because I gave him 2 weeks, or just 2 weeks is just convenient because of what's taking place?
We got many reasons for 2 weeks. You gave him 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The show is going away for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We're going away for more than 2 weeks.
Only 2 weeks. We will miss the 9th and the 16th. We will be back on the 23rd.
Boo.
2 Tuesdays. Unless something changes, who knows? Maybe we'll want to do another IPW featurette and we'll come back early. We might.
I don't think you should.
We might. Red might call me and say, hey, Trauma wants to come back on. Well, then we'll come right out of our sabbatical, because that's what we do on this show. We pop in and out of sabbatical like it ain't even a thing.
Did I wrestle a full match? No.
Yeah, he had his boots on, right?
I don't
No,
know. I was too busy.
I had a suit on, if you remember. That tells you, yeah, I'm
I
pretty.
saw you give at least 2 finger pokes of doom.
Oh, I gave way more.
I saw at least 2.
That's all I got in me now.
I was sitting next to my tag team partner and the bell ringer at the time.
So,
Pat
again,
wants to call a timeout, but he doesn't have
Go
it.
ahead.
He's only got 3. No, he's expired.
Be gone for a couple weeks anyway. What the fuck? Go ahead and do the thing. Do the thing, Pat. Go ahead, call.
I already did. I already did.
Pat. Go ahead. What's the problem? Do the thing.
I did the thing.
Okay, what you got?
I did the thing about plugging Workhorses merches, which you can buy on Brainbuster Tees and ProWrestlingTees.com, respectively.
You're right, sir. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a spoiler, Pat. Next time I see you, I'm gonna cut a promo with you, and I'm gonna choke you right in your goddamn neck. I'm gonna grab you, and I'm gonna make sure that you plug it. I'm gonna make sure that you plug the whole thing. I'm gonna make sure that you say all of these things that you've been saying as far as the Workhorses and pro wrestling. That I hope you remember all of it. I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you. And before you shake your head like, yeah, I'm telling you what's coming. This is a spoiler. I'm telling you, the next time I see you, I'm gonna have a camera ready, and I'm gonna go choke the shit out of you, and you better be ready to plug it, because that's what happens. You get on here, you start plugging the thing. I'm gonna make sure that you know that my hands will be around your neck, or maybe I'll take your arm and make you get choked out with it. I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but just know that that's gonna be a thing, and you better be fucking ready to plug. You better be fucking ready, because it's coming.
I'm ready. The muffins. Do it for the
Muffin
muffins.
tops, get it right.
Blueberry.
be careful for what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for, Dave. Our best goes out to Cactus Rack, recovering and convalescing from her procedures. We hope she is well. We hope she comes back and is part of the Power Hour on the 23rd at Rabid Brewing. We wish her nothing but the best. We missed you tonight, Cactus. No doubt about it. We'll see you guys down the bend. Have a good summer. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks. For Red and Rion and Top Fan and Rachel, I'm Steve. And thanks for watching the Power Hour. And happy 4th of July.
This may be the nicest ending that he's ever done.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate you. Good night.